Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we're going to be doing a roundup of the top 4 monitors under $150.
We think we have some really awesome options here at a wide range of sizes and refresh rates. But before we get into that, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by GVGMall, an online marketplace to gain access to some really awesome discounted game keys, and more specifically, Windows 10 licenses.
And if you're interested, use the link down below and buy the Windows 10 Pro activation using our code TB20 to get 20% off.
All you have to do to activate Windows 10 license is buy the key by using code TB20 and then throw the Windows 10 key into your Windows 10 activation on the system you wish to install it in, and boom, you have activated Windows 10 and you no longer have to look at that horrible watermark in the bottom right corner.
So thanks again to GVGMall for sponsoring this video.
Let's get right into the video, shall we?
So this is actually our first monitor roundup. You guys really like the keyboard and the mice one, so we decided, hey, let's try monitors. So we have them all bought off of Amazon. You can also get them from probably Newegg and eBay as well, but we'll have links in the description down below, and their affiliate links, they do help us out. But we have ranging from 27 inch all the way down to 21.5 inches. We have 75 hertz plus for all of these, and some of them are even as cheap as $80.
So how about we go ahead and take a look at some of these monitors. The main way we're going to do this is go over the main specs of the monitor, unbox it, show how it looks, and then we're going to do some, we'll probably gameplay tests on it and just see how it performs. And then we'll give you a quick decision if we recommend it or not.
Okay, so we're gonna be doing these monitors in order from least expensive to most expensive. So number one, coming in at $90, is the ACER SB220Q. So this is a 21.5 inch monitor, or 22 inches, they often round up to. It's 1920 by 1080, which all of these monitors are. It has FreeSync. It's supposed to have almost zero frame/bezel. It's supposed to be very thin. IPS, which is really nice, and then a couple of other random things like blue light shield and stuff like that to keep a little less eye strain happening. But it is 75 hertz. It's 4 millisecond response time. So for under $100, this one is actually pretty cool sounding. So why don't we go ahead and get it unboxed and put together and see how she looks. Okay, so they weren't lying. So we pretty much have a zero frame design, which looks pretty good. Toolless setup, which is awesome. You just basically spin that. We have all the buttons here at the bottom to be able to control it. 22 inches. Going to the back, we just have an HDMI and VGA, which is fine. There's no display port, but that's fine. It does use a proprietary power connector, so you do have to plug this guy here and this in the power brick. This one only comes with VGA, so that's something to keep in mind, is most of your new computers are not gonna have VGA, and anyways, you just wanna run HDMI. So overall, though, this monitor is looking pretty good. It does have a tilt display and everything. You can only do a little bit of angle. You can't go side to side, you can't raise it. And then the last thing to keep in mind is that this monitor here is not VESA compatible unless you get some type of adapter. It does not have the native VESA mounting. So now without further ado, let's go ahead and plug it up, play some games, and see what we think about it.
Alright guys, to test all these monitors and just show how they look in game, we're going to be running the built-in benchmark of Shadow the Tomb Raider just to get a good idea of what the colors look like and things like that. Again, this isn't a perfect science because you're seeing it through a camera and not up close, but you might be able to tell a difference between the colors, how it looks, some of the viewing angles and things like that while this benchmark runs.
One thing I'd like to point out too is I did turn the brightness all the way up, and then I turned the contrast, I believe, to about 75 because it was pretty dark and hard to see, but it actually looks pretty good now.
So the brightness of this monitor, again, it's an IPS monitor, so it does have some good color accuracy and does look pretty sharp. It's not the brightest in the world. We do have studio lights on it right now, so it's probably not helping it much at all, but it does look pretty nice, and we're gonna go ahead and let this run a little bit and give you all an idea of what it looks like. So I would say, guys, this monitor for the price is pretty decent. You wouldn't want to use this for like a super high-end gaming setup or anything, but if you're doing a budget gaming setup, something like $500 something or maybe like an Optiplex or a cheaper PC and you don't really care about high refresh rate, I think this one would actually be a pretty decent option to consider. Alright guys, the next monitor we're taking a look at is the SCEPTRE 24-inch monitor. The specific model we're looking at is the E248W. Now this is a 24-inch monitor, so it is slightly bigger than the one we took a look at just recently, the 21.5-inch, but this one features a 75 hertz refresh rate, another edgeless design. A lot of these monitors go for the bezel-less design. It does have blue light shift included and adaptive sync. Now one downside is that this monitor is TN, so you're not going to get the best color accuracy, but when you go with TN, you do get faster faster response time. So this is a faster gaming monitor per se compared to the other monitor we just took a look at. So those are the main specs of this monitor. We're gonna go ahead and take it out. Actually, we already unboxed it, so we'll just bring it over here real quick and actually take a look at the monitor itself and what it includes. So here's the monitor out of the box. In terms of setting up the monitor, all you have to do is screw in 2 screws right here to attach the neck to the back of the monitor. But in terms of attaching it to the base, it is pretty toolless. It's just one of those twist and lock mechanisms. But in terms of I/O, we have 2 HDMIs, VGA. We actually have an audio pass-through in and out, so you do have that option if you want to do that. And then all the controls are on the back of the monitor. It does appear that this monitor is VESA mountable, so that is a big plus for people who want to get monitor arms and want to reduce the amount of desk space that is being taken up by the monitor. So good plus here. Pretty much any monitor should have VESA in our opinion. It does come with an HDMI cable in the box, which is a big plus, and it does come with this proprietary power brick. So it's not your standard power brick that comes with like your PC, but it is well included and has decent amount of length, so you should be good enough to be able to plug this in and cable manage your setup. So in terms of the stand functionality, it is tiltable. It is not raisable. It is a pretty fixed stand. It is a little bit wobbly. This is actually a monitor that my girlfriend has under setup at her house right now, and it is a little bit wobbly when you are typing on the desk, so getting a VESA mount would be a good idea in the future if you do get this monitor, but overall the stand is usable, and for a monitor of its price point, it's more than adequate.
All right, so now we have the second monitor. This is the 24-inch SCEPTRE, so a little bit bigger, which this one being a little bit brighter is probably just due to the fact that it's not IPS. You're not getting as sharp of colors, which also makes it to where it can just, well, be a little bit more lit up. So hopefully this one will look just as good though.
Yeah, on first impressions, looks pretty nice. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the first 2 monitors. This one, when we originally bought it for a setup, was closer to the under $100 price point, so it was a good buy at that point. 75 Hertz is a good feature, and if for some reason you don't like 21-inch monitors, stepping up to 24 does actually make a difference. I actually rocked a triple monitor 21-inch setup for a while, and over time I started to realize how small those monitors actually are. 24-inch is a really good monitor size to go with.
All right, so that was the SCEPTRE monitor being a little over $105. So how about we go ahead and go on to the next 144 Hertz monitor.
Buttery smooth.
So next up, this is the second from the most expensive of our roundup. This one is another 21.5-inch or 22 monitor. It's a VIOTEK GVGMall. So this one here is actually 144 Hertz, 5 millisecond response time, VA panel, and it has G-Sync and FreeSync. So this one's definitely the gaming monitor of the bunch. It is 1920 by 1080, 144 Hertz, like we said. It has the low blue light. It's supposed to have the smaller bezel or bezel-less frame, just like all the other ones have. So overall, I mean, it's similar, yet the 144 Hertz definitely makes it more of a gaming appealing monitor. And so since you guys already know all that stuff, pretty obviously, let's go ahead and unbox it. Okay, so we have a similar look to their monitors. We have basically a little bit of bezel at the bottom, really no bezel up top, 22/21.5. The stand on this one, by the way, is a lot sturdier, and that is because this kit actually is all screwed in. It comes with a screwdriver. It is VESA mountable. It also does have tilt on the stand, but like we said, this is the most sturdy stand so far. As far as the back I/O, we have a DC power port, once again proprietary with a brick. We have a display port, 2 HDMI, and then audio as well. So pretty similar to the last monitor we just looked at. But like we said, this one's 144 Hertz. It's VA, so a little bit better colors. It's FreeSync and G-Sync compatible. It does come with the DisplayPort cable, so you're good on that part. And overall, I mean, at 130 bucks, this is probably one of the better 144 Hertz monitors you can get at that price range.
All right, guys, the next monitor we're going to be testing is the VIOTEK 144 Hertz monitor. We have it set to the beautiful buttery smooth 144 Hertz. It is decently bright right now, but we're going to run the benchmark and see what it looks like. But on first impressions, I mean, it looks pretty clear. Again, this is a cheaper panel, so it's kind of hard to find specific specs on this, but people do believe this is a VA panel, so that is a good middle ground between IPS and TN, so you get decent color accuracy without compromising on response times that may happen with IPS, but it looks really nice, pretty bright. Again, it is a step down in size compared to the other monitors, but I think it looks good. All right, so as we're wrapping up this benchmark, again, this monitor looks really nice. It's the only one that's 144 Hertz within this price range, so if that's something you're looking for, links in the description down below, definitely recommend checking it out. When we did buy it, there was a delay in it getting shipped to us through Amazon Prime, so do keep that in mind, but I mean, if you want 144 Hertz, this is a really awesome value. All right, guys, this monitor does look pretty nice for the money. How about we try the last monitor real quick? The big boy, the big chungus. All right, guys, the last monitor in this roundup is this monitor from ASUS. This is the VA27EHE, and as you can tell by the name, it is a 27-inch monitor. This is the biggest one that we have in this roundup. It is 75 Hertz, it is IPS, it has eye care technology, has a thin bezel design, and accordingly to this box, it is VESA mountable. So really, there's only one monitor in this roundup that doesn't come with VESA mountable. Boo-boo on that monitor, definitely should get VESA mount support. But yeah, this being a 27-inch monitor, it is gonna be bigger. There are a lot of people who prefer bigger monitors, and this one does come in at a really good price point for a bigger 1080p monitor. So how about we not waste any more time and get this thing set up? Alright guys, as you can tell, this is a big monitor. Just for quick comparison, here is the little baby 21-inch compared to the 27-inch. You're definitely getting a lot more screen for the money, but you are compromising on that refresh rate. But for most people, this might be fine. In terms of the stand build, it's actually totally toolless. Everything just snaps in the neck and the base. It makes it for a kind of sturdy stand. It doesn't have any height adjuster or anything, but you can tilt. Basic control, nothing too fancy here. As we mentioned, this does come with VESA mounting support. 4 holes right here, definitely a good inclusion. In terms of video out, it's pretty basic. An HDMI and a VGA. I would have liked to see a display port here, but again, this is what you got. And then it actually uses a standard power plug, so you're not stuck with the, well, power brick or external power supply that some of these monitors come with that make it really hard to cable manage. And in terms of what it comes with in the box, we have a HDMI cable and the included power cable. So really, this monitor does come with a lot, and the video options are on the side of the monitor, just like all the other ones. But yeah, not too bad. There's a really big base, but yeah, let's stop talking about it and actually test it in some games.
All right, guys, so last monitor, we have it at 75 Hertz. It is 1080p, and it is the 27-inch, so it's actually very large. You can see it's filling up the screen. And of course, keep in mind this one is IPS, that's why it does look a little bit darker. We could probably go into the settings, by the way, on either of the IPS ones and make them a little bit brighter, but we're just gonna keep them on the stock settings because that's how you're probably gonna get like the most vivid, vibrant colors, so.
All right, so here's this monitor. It is pretty dark. I mean, this scene definitely is darker than most scenes that you can see. Jackson's gonna try to find the menu maybe and try to crank the brightness if you can figure it out. Oh, we are at, wait, almost at max brightness. All right, we're gonna crank this up to, oh, that adds a little bit of brightness there. Okay, we'll see what this looks like now, see if it looks any better. Oh, that definitely looks better. Nice. I don't know why these monitors run at 90.
All right, guys, so we actually have our 2 favorites here because we really couldn't pick one. Well, because this one, 27-inch, really big, very good viewing angles, and it's IPS, so it's just a really good workflow and productivity monitor. While this one, 144 Hertz, and it's a lot smaller, but really good for gaming.
So obviously, if you want to go with the 144 Hertz monitor, we would suggest this one. There's not really many other monitors at this price point of under $150. You can get some that are around 160, 170 that offer a little bit more features, but for the sake of this roundup, this is our favorite and we highly suggest you consider it. But yeah, 27-inch monitor, great for productivity if you're not just mainly gaming, and I really do like these choices for your next gaming setup.
So we'll leave in the description down below affiliate links of Amazon and maybe Newegg if we can find these monitors anywhere else, and there'll be affiliate links that do help us out. And also, if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toasterbros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa!